Hey everybody. Jojo says hi, Gerbil says hi. So I'm getting ready to go. I've been stuck for a couple days at a hotel because of a breakdown. A little while back I posted a video about why I chose keto, and I want to kind of jump from that, and this would be kind of like a sequel. But I want to talk about what your goals are, why you chose keto may affect how you do keto. So there are so many different ways that people do keto out there, and a lot of times people get very dogmatic about it, about their approach and how it's got to be the same for everybody. But that's just not the truth. Depending on what your goals are, or what you do, how active you are, the type of keto that you can do can vary up greatly. Because one of the main reasons why I do keto is my brain health. I incorporate a lot of fat and a lot more protein than probably a lot of other people would. The reason why I do more protein is because it does satiate me and helps me fast for a bit longer, but I'm also slightly larger than the average person, and my build is slightly larger than the average person, so my body kind of demands more protein, and if I don't get it, I'm going to get hungry. I do a lot of MCT oils and things like that because it's brain health. I like to try and get C8 MCT oil whenever I can and incorporate that into my diet. I do the bulletproof coffees. I often add egg and a few other things to mine. But these are all things that I choose to do that work well with me. One, on the truck. Two, focused more on brain health. That higher fat helps build up the ketones a little bit more. I also find that occasionally adding a slightly higher carbohydrate meal helps me with muscle cramping, hydration, and can help stimulate more fat loss on occasion too. After I do a meal and then jump back onto keto, do a meal that's a little bit higher carbohydrates. Now, if your goal is body composition, you may want to watch how many calories you consume. You know, depending on how you respond to it, you may want to increase protein. You may want to look at doing a carnivore diet if it works for you. If you don't have any issues with meat, or some other type of higher protein diet. It's been shown that higher protein diets have a tendency to help you lose weight a lot faster. If you are doing your diet to help control diabetes, protein, you may want to keep that more moderate to help prevent gluconeogenesis, and you may incorporate a little bit more fat and possibly some higher fiber foods. There's a lot of evidence right now that gut health, as far as the microbiome goes, can really affect your insulin production as well. So you might want to include some healthy carbs in the form of leafy green vegetables and things like that to help build up gut health. Then, there's control of epilepsy and neurological issues and things like that, which is a little bit closer to what I'm eating. But in those cases, people may incorporate a lot more fat, a much higher ratio of healthy fats, and they also might incorporate things like exogenous ketones and stuff, especially for epileptics, to help prevent seizures and things like that, to keep those ketones extremely high. And then there's, what comes with sports, there's all kinds of different approaches for keto. If you're more of a muscle building athlete and things like that, you're definitely going to want more protein. If you're an endurance athlete where you're going, marathons or more, you may want to incorporate some more carbohydrates in there because, like I said, it does help you stay hydrated. So Then the other factors that come into play too is food sensitivities, how you respond to certain foods. You may not respond the same way if somebody else just as active or just as sedentary as you are. So it's something that you really got to kind of play with. One thing that we don't want to do is attack somebody else who especially is having success for the way they do their keto if it's not the same as you do your keto, because biochemistry can play a huge role in how you respond to the food you eat. Illness can play a huge role. Medications can play a huge role. So all these factors can affect the way you eat, what you include in your diet or what you don't include in your diet. The other thing too is if you go on keto and you are on medications, let's say insulin or mental health medications or anti-seizure medications, high blood pressure medications, you really want a doctor who's knowledgeable in keto to help you along the way and guide you, and possibly work with another professional like a health coach or an NTP or things like that, because you may have to dial down your medications as you go. I was listening to somebody talk a little while back where they were on insulin and they started having some problems with the insulin because they didn't need as much as they used to while doing keto, and they were type 1 but diabetic, and then their dosage that they normally took was actually causing some health problems in them, and some dangerous ones. So these are all things that you have to really be careful of, and if you are dealing with a medical issue, something like insulin issues or type 1, type 2 diabetes, you really do want to monitor yourself and also work very closely with a health professional that understands the diet. So, just kind of, you got to play around with things. That term biohacking really comes into play. And then also really getting some knowledge behind you so you know how to play with the diet, you know how to biohack. There's a lot of really great podcasts out there. There's a lot of really knowledgeable professionals out there, and there are a ton of books and resources. Some that I go over and I recommend quite a bit, especially if you're starting out. Books like Eat the Yolks by Liz Wolfe, Deep Nutrition by Shanahan. I can't remember her first name. And then there's of course, like The Big Fat Surprise, The Ketogenic Bible. There's just so many out there. Anything by Finney and Bullock, obviously. Jimmy Moore obviously has some great resources out there, actually a ton of them. And he makes them very simple. But there's so many different books and resources that you can get. There's so many professionals out there that are extremely knowledgeable and can guide you and help you with testing and everything like that. So just be careful how you approach somebody when you talk to them about their diet. When you're focused on your diet and what your goals are and what your intentions for doing the diet, really research, what the different types of keto actually do, and how they affect your brain, your body, and everything else. And also take into account any sensitivities or allergies that you might have, or what you're capable of doing financially, time-wise, what your resources are, what you have available around you. So these are all kind of really good things to keep in mind. All right, everybody, have a great day. From me and the gerbil, we're getting ready to go, and I just wanted to kind of put that out as choices part 2, and how what you're choosing actually affects how you keto. All right, everybody, have a great day. Make sure you be kind and nice to one another, and even if you don't agree with somebody, don't attack. Just be kind. Kill everybody with kindness. All right, everybody, have a great day.